Hi there, and welcome to Virtually Viking. My name is Nikki Johns from St. John's River State College, and my co-host today is,
Sunshine Neely.
and we're at the recruitment team for St. John's. We are super excited to talk about the admissions process and all that's required to get into the college and get started. And that is going to be the focus of today's show.
Alrighty. So let's imagine, or let's pretend that I want to go to college. Not any college. I want to attend college at St. John's River State College. What items are required?
Yeah, so to be a degree seeking student, you're going to need a high school diploma or a GED. You're going to
Okay.
need to apply online. There is a $30 fee that can be waived in some situations. You'll need to collect all your transcripts from your high school, your homeschool affidavit transcripts, your homeschool affidavit transcripts, a GED, and any college level courses you may have taken if you'd gone to a different institution or taken like AP courses. You'd want to gather all that information up. And then you're going to turn in a document called the proof of residency as well that would finish off your admissions checklist.
Okay. So if I attended two two state community colleges and a university, I have to get transcripts for all of those.
Yeah, we want to make sure you get the correct class organization options. We want to make sure that everything you've taken, you get credit for that qualifies for your program. So we want to make sure to see everything you've taken to make sure you're not having to take extra courses.
Perfect, perfect. Now, how, because it's been a long time, it's been a long time ago that I did that. How would I go about getting my transcripts?
For any of your high school transcripts, I always suggest going your first step being your high school you graduated from. Thankfully, now we have all the information of how to get that directly from the website there. One of our counties specifically goes through the county connection. Some of our high schools process them right in high school. So if you'll go straight to the high school page, they'll tell you. If it's been a while, like for you and me, they may tell you how to connect to the county specifically for that information, or even Department of Education if it's been an even longer stop or your high school isn't maybe still an open, you can contact the Department of Education to get that.
Perfect, perfect. And then you also mentioned proof of residency. And so, do I have, is that something where I'm proving that I live here?
Yeah, it's a form. And if you're under 24, with the exception of some options, you're considered a dependent student. So it's really a parent or guardian that would be filling it out for those dependent students. That proves that you've lived in the state for a year and a day, and it affects your in-state tuition option. So it could be the difference of $1,000 a class and $324 a class. Those are rough numbers, but that one piece of paper and the two proofs to prove that you've lived here for at least a year and a day make a big difference when it comes to the bill when you go to pay for classes, even with
Yes,
our affordable tuition.
yes, that's a big difference. So, I'll make sure I fill that out. Okay, so I have all of my documents. I got my transcripts. I have my high school diploma, which shows I'm sorry, I got my high school diploma and my transcripts, which show I have a high school diploma. I my $30 and my proof of residency. How do I apply?
You're going to go right on sjrstate.edu, and in the top right corner, there's an Apply Now button. When you select on that, it's going to take you to our admissions page, and you're going to have some different options, whether you're first time in college applicant, maybe you're straight from high school, or maybe you took some time off after high school and you're coming back, or finishing your GED and you're coming back. Or if you're a returning student, a dual enrollment student, a transfer from where you've gone off to another institution and you're coming back, or coming over from another institution, there's different options that I'll walk you through and questions that asks you to get in the right box to get you in through an application to make sure you're processed correctly.
Okay, and so I'm applying. And then what next? After I apply, will someone call me? How does that work?
That's my favorite part. You get an answer right then and there. As long as everything goes smoothly with your application. And if it doesn't, you'll get a call within 24 to 48 hours, business hours. Um, you'll get an application or an information saying welcome to the college as soon as you finish. You'll get an email within 15 to 20 minutes and you're in a queue to set up with next email steps as far as what you're going to do next in your process.
Okay, okay. So I'll wait for that email. And then I'm accepted at that point? Am I accepted into the college?
As long as you had that high school diploma and the GED, you are considered college ready where you can apply to the college. Yep.
Perfect. I'm going to college. Now, so I've applied, and I've gotten my email. And so, is there a in-person orientation? Um, or can I register for classes? How does that work?
So there is a bit of a process. It's not as far as like you apply and you're in classes overnight. When you get your application or when you finish your application and you're welcome to the college, you will get a reminder or information about our Duo application, which is this two-step factor authentication, which is the security side of signing into the college website. You'll set your password for the portal, which is the student side of our website. And then you will be able to access Canvas, which is the online class or class option, and take orientation. It's completely online. It walks you through everything you would need to be successful in classes. And then you can meet with an advisor and then you can register. So it's not going to be an overnight process. It is a little bit of work to get through the thing, but it kind of keeps you on track and prepares you to be a college student.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Sounds interesting. Now, once I've made it all the way to that step and I've registered for classes, do I have options on when can I take a class or do I have to take all morning classes?
No, it is once you are graduated from high school or out of the GED program where you have to be at a certain space at a certain area or time, you have more flexibility. And if you're coming back from where you're working and you need flexibility with your time as well, that way you have access to it. And the bonus is you have access to all three campuses. So if you live here in Putnam County, but you work in St. Johns County, you could go to St. Augustine campus if you needed to be on campus. But all AA classes have an online option as long as they're being offered for that semester you need them for, where you could take your complete degree and never step foot on campus if you wanted.
Okay, okay. Now we all know that life happens. So what about the student who has attended St. John's before? Life happened. They had to, deal with life, but now they're back and they're ready to get started. Is their admissions process the same?
So they're going to have a little bit of a difference just in maybe some of the requirements to get through to registering for classes, but you still need to start with an application. If it's been longer than a semester or 2 semesters, then you're going to have to update your residency documentation. We should already have your transcript information as long as you didn't go anywhere else. Um, Depending upon how long you've been out, you may repeat orientation just because some of the information has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's been long enough, you'll meet with an advisor. If it's been pretty quick and you remember where you need to go, you technically won't have to meet with an advisor. I highly recommend it just to make sure you're on track. I was in my advisor's office all the time. Um, totally recommend doing that just on a personal side. And then you'll be able to register for classes. It's a little bit quicker just because you've done it before and we have some of that information, but it's still kind of the same process as far as applying. Make sure you finish your checklist and register for classes.
Good, good. And so now I know that St. John's River State College offers different programs like nursing, sonography. Are all of those programs offered on all of the campuses?
No, so each campus kind of has, as far as our limited access programs, there are specialties. Our Placa campus is our nursing campus. And some of our allied health programs, as far as the nursing program focuses here with our LPN program and the medical assisting transfers back and forth between here and Orange Park. There's a CNA program as well within that program. Then you have Orange Park as the engineering and the nursing. They have sonography and EMT as well. And then you have over in St. Augustine, they newly have nursing, but they also have the RADTAC, respiratory care, and the criminal justice as far as the law enforcement academy and the corrections academy over there. And then
Oh,
Florida
wow.
School of the Arts is here in Placa as well.
Okay,
I always think of
awesome.
them being separate.
Now, Florida School of the Arts is there is that a different application process, or is it similar to the what we've talked about already?
No, so they're gonna have something completely different because they have the portfolio review or on audition. So they set up where they set up that time to either have their portfolio reviewed or their audition. And once that is, and once they're accepted, then they would apply to the college and they would start the application process on that side of it. But that first step for them is going to be selecting the portfolio review or audition date, which you can do right there on the Florida School of the Arts website.
Oh, I should go dance. Maybe, maybe not.
Definitely come out and watch the dances. They're great. I'm
Yes,
not
they are.
partial to any
They
of our students at all. They're great over there.
so we've talked about classes, online classes and in-person classes and nursing and all these things. How would someone pay for college?
So there's many different options with that. You can do your FAFSA, you can apply for scholarships, you could pay out of pocket, which I mean, if you have your FAFSA and your scholarships, hopefully you don't have to. If there's still money that's needed, there is the payment plan where you can spread out the cost of college. That is something you pay for ahead of time. So definitely check the deadlines on our website to apply for the payment plan. Or there is even student loans. They're not a horrible, horrible thing as long as you are responsible in the amounts you take out or make sure that they're what you need for your classes and your degree. They happen. I had to take them. They are an option, but there's many different options in that respect.
Now, what is a FAFSA?
The FAFSA. I'm bad about using shortened names. The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. It is the application you fill out with the government to show your income and your need within the college. That's a very simplified answer. Excitingly, we'll be having more in-depth information about that coming soon. But it is that application to get help from the Department of Education to go to college. There are so many resources. Students shouldn't be struggling for most of our areas and most of our programs if you're doing the FAFSA.
Right. Okay. That sounds good. Now, you did mention scholarship. So if I completed my FAFSA, is that will that also qualify me for scholarships?
So the FAFSAs are how you're going to apply for grants, which are where you're getting money that you don't pay back for college. The scholarships are going to be a completely different application. St. John's does offer 179 of them, and you would just go to on our website. There is a separate application for our scholarships, but 179 scholarships with one application is not a bad option.
Definitely, definitely. Now, if I needed a loan, if I did my FAFSA and I needed a loan, that is an option for me. Yes.
Yes, so you're going to find out the information about your student loans when you do your FAFSA. Everyone gets information about that. You're not required to take them, but you can take them. There is a process afterwards just to make students realize what they're doing. We have a specialist within our financial aid department that walks them through that to make sure that they're on track with it. And you do some more paperwork to get that processed, but you can get student loans and there is resources available to it.
Okay. And for the student that doesn't want the loans, we're on budgets and we got our budget and we're working our budget. Is there a payment plan option?
Yes, the payment plan is amazing. So you set it up and there is a fee to get started into it, but then you're able to break up your payments for your semester and get it covered over a whole time instead of one big chunk. It is an option to do it that way as well, to pay out of pocket and just do it a little slower. It's not a big, there's no penalty to it. It's just a little bit slower process to pay out.
And I like that. I feel like, especially if you're on a budget and you're managing your money, it just shows that, you're mature and you're doing things. But I like that idea of not having interest when I think about a loan and different things and paying it back. So I like the idea of having a payment plan. I, this is what I owe, and then I'll break it up and I'll take care of it. So that's really cool.
It's definitely a good idea as far as not having to take out the loans. If you're able to cover it through the semester, just by breaking it up, it's a great idea.
Sounds fun. I mean, not fun, but it sounds good. Now, what is a dual enrollment? Is that offered to anybody? Like, can I take advantage of that?
Unfortunately, you can't. Your younger child can in the near future. But dual enrollment is going to be offered to students within a specific time frame. You can do it for 3 years maximum. and you're in high school grade, whether you're in a high school or a homeschool student, you can apply with certain eligibility requirements. And with your high school counselor or your counselor within your homeschool program, sign up, you can apply to the program, and it basically takes the place of your high school class as like an advanced placement class, but you're getting that credit for both the high school and the college side.
Okay, and so is there you did say there are requirements, so not all high school students will be eligible.
Oh no, so it's a 3.0 in some cases. For some of our classes, there will be a little bit of a lower option, but 3.0 is the traditional requirement. And then there's a placement test you have to take, whether you're taking the PERT test on our campus, turning in your SAT, your ACT, your PSAT, or a few other test options you can choose from as far as test scores, just to show you're college ready. But going from like a high school student's standpoint, they would start with the high school counselor. The high school counselor would sign off on their own of applying. Parent or guardian needs to sign off. The student would need to sign off. They would do an application just to make sure that they're on the right track. And then they would apply to the college and then be able to register in for classes. They do have their own orientation as well, and just how to be successful in the dual enrollment program.
Okay. And is there a fee for dual enrollment?
For the students, it's completely free. It does get paid by the state and the county, but as far as the students, they're not paying for their classes or their books. So it is a nice respect in that way. Between the books and the classes, as a ballpark figure, I often tell students they're saving almost $500 a class.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
when you average out the cost of the full AA degree and your textbooks you might need for a class, so there's a great savings in that respect. And the idea of being able to take that advanced placement class early and have the support of being a high school student in some cases still is always a great idea, especially if you can get it for free
Yes,
to
definitely.
you.
If you can take advantage of that, you should. I mean, if you qualify, you should definitely take advantage of that. That sounds like a no-brainer.
And to me,
um,
the bonus of it's order getting that high school class grade. You're getting a GPA while you're in college and high school. So
right.
you studying that GPA is always a good idea.
Definitely. So, I've completed my application. I have all of my documents. I've done orientation. Orientation was so fun. And then I registered for classes. How about books? Where do I get my books?
So you can totally come right on campus. Every Viking Center or every campus has a Viking Center. Every Viking Center has a bookstore. And you can go online for your books as well through our website. Technically, you don't have to use our bookstore. You can get your resources elsewhere. But our bookstore keeps their prices competitive and they have all the resources you would need to be successful in class as well.
Okay. Now, I know at some colleges you can get like paraphernalia with your the school's logo. Does our bookstore offer shirts or coffee or book bags?
So not coffee. You can get a coffee cup and then go right next door to the Viking like cafes and bike a lunchbox to get your coffee. But they do have your shirts and your jackets and hats and bottles and swag, not just your books, like your books. But they also have school supplies. If you happen to come on campus and forget your pen and pencil and your notebook for the day, you can come in and grab some options to take notes in class. They'll have that access to you as well. There's all kinds of fun things to find in the bookstore.
Now, I do have a question. I do remember when I was in college, like not that long ago, at the end of the semester, you could, I think, buy your book back, or the bookstore would buy it back. Is that available at St. John's River State College?
Yeah, so you have the rental option. You don't just have to buy your book. You can do rental options now, and you can do the book buyback program as well. Just make sure you're watching like signs. We put up emails. There's reminders on the student portal of just when those dates are coming up, and it all happens right there in the bookstore in the Viking Center. There's usually
Oh,
something
wow.
fun going on in the Viking Center at the same time too.
Definitely. So there's certain times that you can sell your books back, but you can also rent, which is actually pretty, good if you don't want to own a whole book. So that's pretty cool.
I bought way too many when I was in school.
Now, so I've taken care of my classes. I'm ready for class. I got my books. I've applied and all that stuff. I've done my FAFSA. I've paid for my classes through all scholarships, please. Now, what about extracurricular activities? Are there any
Yes,
clubs or organizations on campus that I can get involved in?
currently there's over 31 between the three campuses. There's student government happens to be one that I'm closely knowledgeable at, which they make decisions on campus. College-wide, they get to go and meet with other colleges to talk about different things going on in our state government that would be affecting college students. They learn great opportunities and business and leadership roles through that one. There's Dungeons and Dragons clubs where they actually get together and they play. I think that's the right word for it. There is billiards clubs, there's ping pong clubs, there is film clubs, there is dual enrollment clubs on all three campuses. There are so many clubs. Have I said clubs enough? But you also have the athletics. We are home here in Palaca to the athletics program. So you have the volleyball in fall. There is spring with beach volleyball, which while they practice here, they also practice in St. Augustine or play in St. Augustine. Then you have the softball and baseball teams here in Palaca as well. And students have access to all of that along with the Florida School of the Arts art galleries, different performances that they're doing over there in that theater. Students all have access to any of that to go to.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And so also the softball team, did they just won a championship? Is that correct?
They are the World Series champions for our division, and baseball won state and or the state division, and both our volleyball and beach volleyball did really well for their season as well. We're super excited about our athletics. Even more impressive is their academics. Their grade point average is high compared to other schools, but also compared to our students. They have an amazing grade point average. We very stress the academic side of our students and our athletes.
Awesome, awesome. Now, so I'm on campus. I'm involved in clubs and organizations. I'm even attending a little bit of volleyball. What about studying? Are there areas on campus where where I can study?
Oh yeah, there's different pockets and different computer labs throughout campus you can go and visit. There's one in the Viking Center. I've seen students study in the Viking Center as well, but you're definitely going to have to be able to kind of ignore the fun going on around you. So that might, if you are easily tempted away from studying, maybe not be your best option. So you may want to try the library, which is open every day the college is open, plus Sunday. You have options to go into the library, and they have an academic support center in there where there's always a math tutor. You have a writing center support as well, and the other STEAM classes can get support in. So where if you're a student in the class here at St. John's, there is support for you in the library to help be successful.
Definitely. Thank you, Mickey. Now, do I need a parking permit to park on campus to access the library in different areas on campus?
So you do need a parking permit. You're going to get steps on it in orientation how to get that parking permit, and you would just get it from security on campus. It's completely free. That is a bonus. And you'll stick it in your car, and it's a great idea as far as if something happens in your parking lot, or maybe you drop your keys on campus, they can find which car is beeping with the remote and contact you based on that sticker. And it just helps to make sure who's on campus should be. And it's completely free though. That's the bonus. It wasn't the bonus of being free at other schools that I've gone to. So free parking is always nice.
Yes, definitely free parking. Also, what about how would a student obtain a student ID?
Student IDs are always fun, and you get those right from the library. As soon as you're registered for classes, you are going to go to the library and with your photo ID to prove you are who you are. And then they'll be able to print it off for you right there. And they can even put a hole in a lanyard in it for you if you would like to be able to wear it. But then you can use it around town. You can use it on campus to get discounts at like Florida School of the Arts or even to the athletics games as well. As a chance to get into any of that, you would just need that ID.
Sounds fun. Sounds fun. So this has been really great. I've learned about applying to the college, all of the documents that I need. So that's important. Making sure that I have my transcripts and making sure I go to the right place to get my transcripts. Because especially if it's been a long time since you've been in college, you're like, I don't even know what school. I don't high school what. So that was really helpful. So I'm really excited for not myself because I'm not going to school, but I'm excited that this information will help somebody um, as they're applying to college. As we wrap up, we hope that you found this information useful and inspiring. Um, Mickey, would you like to say anything as we wrap
Yeah,
up?
please don't forget, we're always here to help. You can either reach out through the website. You can find Sunshine and I contact information throughout the site in many different areas. If you see us on out and about, we're happy to share information as well. There is a specific website or email for the show at virtuallyvikings at sjrstate.edu. You're always welcome to send questions there. And also on our page on the website, there is a little question box where you may not hear from us. You might hear from somebody who has a little more specialized information, but there's many different ways to reach out for questions. It's our job and one of our favorite jobs to help people walk through doing an application. So please don't hesitate reaching out. That's what we're here for. And then if you have questions about for future shows, don't hesitate to reach out with that as well. Again, just to that website, the Virtually Vikings at SJR State, or any of our social medias, whether it's Instagram and Facebook, Twitter. You can look at former pictures of us on or things going on campus on Flickr. On our website, you can see all the different links. Reach out if you have any questions. We have teams of people that are happy to help and answer questions. That's what we're here for.
Definitely. Well, we thank you for tuning in to the show today, and we hope you feel more prepared and confident as you go on this journey into applying to St. John's River State College.
Yes, thank you again for listening in. And again, just start with that SJR State. Everything we talked about is on that senior admission or the admissions checklist as far as to help you box through. And again, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. We're here for you. Thank you.
Thank you.